We are joined right now by the all-time winningest coach in Division I men's basketball history with 1,202 wins. He was the head coach at Duke for 42 seasons. He won 5 national championships. He made 13 trips to the Final Four. He is a 2-time inductee into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. He went in as an individual in 2001. He also went in as a part of the 1992 Olympic Dream Team in 2010, and he coached the team to 3 Olympic gold medals as well as the head coach. We are joined by Mike Krzyzewski. Mike, it is so good to have you on and to get caught up. How you doing, Coach? How is everything?
And thanks for having me. It's been a while. I've always enjoyed being on the show and the terrific job that you do. So thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate you, Mike, very, very much. It has been a while. I felt like I kind of had that spidey sense. I had a touch base. It was time to bring you back. So thanks so much for making time. Let me get your thoughts. After Team USA got a major scare from South Sudan, and then they edged Germany in preparing for the Olympics, they then imposed their will, pounding Serbia on Sunday with that 26-point win. If you saw that, what were your biggest takeaways from that victory? What stood out to you, Mike?
I think the fact that guys are becoming more comfortable playing with one another, more comfortable playing FIBA, international basketball, familiarity with the ball. It's a different ball, 2 extra panels, a little bit slipperier, I think, than the normal ball, and just how well the veterans have taken over the leadership of the team, and LeBron's been sensational. I think Anthony Davis, he had gotten a little foul trouble against Serbia, but he's been a dominating big guy for us. Obviously, having Kevin, I had the opportunity to coach him 4 times, and Durant is amazing. And a lot of people don't realize that Curry, he's part of 2 of our world championship teams in 2010 in Istanbul and 2014 in Madrid. So he's accustomed to international. I think the veterans have really shown great leadership.
Mike Krzyzewski is joining us. Mike, I could ask you or follow up on any one of those things. That's all really interesting. But what about Kevin Durant? He obviously was sensational after not playing literally in months after that calf injury. He's trying to become the first American men's basketball player to win 4 gold medals. He's already the U.S. men's all-time leading Olympic scorer. Mike, not to go all hot take on you, but could you argue that maybe KD is the greatest Olympic basketball player ever?
Well, I think he is because of longevity and accomplishment. And again, it's unique, but the amount of points he scored, he scored a lot more than anyone else. And Jim, and when he did that, when he scored in Istanbul in 2010, he averaged 33 points a game in the medal round. Obviously, in London, he was part of a huge team that we have with LeBron and Kobe. And in 2016 in Rio, he was by far our best scorer and really led our team to the gold medal. And so what he did against Serbia does not surprise me. He may have been resting his leg, but his touch doesn't need any rest. It's one of the best ever in the world.
We are talking to Mike Krzyzewski. Mike, I mentioned there were some wobbly moments for the national team in exhibition play heading into Paris. When you guided Team USA, how did you approach those tune-ups? And specifically, what were you looking for on the court?
Well, we're trying to develop some level of continuity and rotation, how we subbed, and also to have a closing unit in any close game in the last 5 or 6 minutes, which it was always a little bit different than the starting unit that we had. Now, we had many close encounters during my 11 years coaching and the 5 competitions. But once you get accustomed, like in Rio, we had really close games in pool play. And then once we got into the medal round, our guys found a rhythm. And I think this team is finding a rhythm. And hopefully in these next 2 games, South Sudan and Puerto Rico, we'll go into medal round. Remember, medal round is one and done. You go to quarters. If you lose, you're out. I mean, you can still medal. No, you can't medal if you lose in the quarters. But it's like the seventh game in the NBA. We tried to stress that all the time once we got into the medal round, that each game was one and done. It was the seventh game of an NBA series to have that uh, the pressure, but also the understanding that you got to do it right now, or you're not going to get another chance.
Talking to Coach K, you mentioned South Sudan. I understand that you're not in the prediction business, but when you look at the way the U.S. squad was severely tested by South Sudan last week, and knowing the alphas that we have on this team, knowing the rhythm that you're talking about, and that they want to be playing a certain way at a certain time, how much of a statement do you expect the U.S. squad to try to make when they meet up once again tomorrow?
Well, in playing South Sudan, they're playing, I think, the second most athletic team in the competition. We're the most athletic, but South Sudan, Luol Deng, one of our former players, heads the South Sudan Federation and has done a magnificent job. I actually texted him after the game and said, how the athleticism of his team was outstanding, and they shot the ball well. Jim, in order for someone to beat the U.S., they have to shoot from the three-point line at a high percentage and get to the foul line. And if we defend the three well and understand team fouls, remember the fifth foul in every quarter, you start shooting two shots. So to think about team fouls, that was always, we always had our guys yell out, that's the third foul, that's the fourth foul, because a guy might come in the game and have no fouls, but he might commit your fifth and sixth fouls, team fouls, and put them on the line for 4 free throws. So 3-pointers and free throws, and no one can play defense like we can, but South Sudan can come close because of their athleticism.
They're dangerous, right? They're athletic. They can shoot it. They're
Yeah.
quick, and they'll D you up. Mike Krzyzewski
They
joining
have
us.
nothing to lose.
Right.
Jim, that's the other thing is, like we have everything to lose. The teams we play against are, in some respect, as long as they look good, they're going to look good. And if by chance there's no pressure on them, and so that's why defense is important, to put pressure on them, to make sure they have pressure, because the pressure to win is solely on the United States.
We're talking to Coach K. So, Mike, you mentioned LeBron James. I'm curious because in 2008 and 2012, you won back-to-back gold medals. He was on that squad. Yet, incredibly enough, here we are in 2024, and LeBron is not only still there, he's still putting everything he's got on the line again and getting everybody on his back. What do you think representing the U.S. again means to LeBron at this stage of his career?
Well, you're talking about one of the incredible athletes in any sport forever, in LeBron James. And he's so smart, Jim, and this means so much to him. I saw him briefly when they played Canada in Las Vegas. I was there for the last 2 days of their training camp. And he and I are close. And, he had that look in his eyes. After saying hello, whenever I said, "You got that look, man. You got him." And he says, "Coach, this is so important to me." And so I knew he was going to be, I don't know what you can say his best is, because there's always something he ends up doing a little bit better. But right now he's playing lights out basketball, and he with a verve. I mean, his drives, full court moves, and are so powerful, and his look. That a great player can win obviously by playing offense and defense, but a great player can win by how that player looks. And LeBron has shown the face of a gold medal winner the whole time so far, and that helps his teammates immensely. And I know I'll tell you what, it helps their coaching staff. It helped me immensely when he had that look.